The BBC says it has been in touch with the police following claims one of its presenters paid a teenager £35,000 for explicit photographs. The corporation says it is working as quickly as possible to establish the facts and that the presenter, who has not been named, has been suspended. Claims the presenter began paying the young person when they were 17 were first reported by the Sun newspaper on Friday. As of yet, neither the BBC nor the Sun newspaper have named the presenter involved in these allegations. Why this is, we cannot be sure. However, it is unusual for a news outlet like the Sun newspaper not to name an alleged perpetrator unless there is a gagging order in place. In a news story published by the Sun on Sunday evening, the presenter allegedly made 2 panicked phone calls to the person involved and asked them, "What have you done?" before going on to ask them to call their mother and get them to stop the investigation. In a statement released on Friday, the BBC said it had processes in place to deal with allegations, and part of this is actively attempting to speak to those who have contacted us in order to seek further detail and understanding of the situation. If we get no reply to our attempts or receive no further contact, that can limit our ability to progress things, but it does not mean our inquiries stop. If at any new point new information comes to light or is provided, including via newspapers, this will be acted upon appropriately in line with internal processes, added the BBC. In an email to staff, BBC Director General Tim Davie said such allegations were taken incredibly seriously. He described the situation as complex, and the corporation was working rapidly on ascertaining the facts and to ensure these matters are handled fairly and with care. A spokesperson for London's Metropolitan Police said the force has received initial contact from the BBC in relation to the claims, but no formal referral or allegation has been made. They said more information was needed before the police can decide what further action should follow. The timeline so far: Friday the 19th of May, the young person's family complained to the BBC about one of its presenters' behaviour, according to the Sun newspaper. Thursday the 6th of July, allegations of a different nature are put to the BBC, according to Director General Tim Davie. Friday the 7th of July, the Sun publishes claims that a BBC presenter paid a teenager £35,000 for photos. Saturday the 8th of July, the Sun on Sunday publishes more details of the presenter's alleged actions. And Sunday the 9th of July, the BBC confirms a presenter has been suspended and that the corporation is in touch with the police. Concerns have been raised about the BBC's complaints process, primarily what steps were taken to question the unnamed presenter and to investigate further. There are already accusations that since the family made their complaint, the broadcaster has not handled the investigation into the presenter properly. I think the story here is the time lag between Friday the 19th of May and Thursday the 6th of July. What we, the public, are unaware of are the nature of the initial allegations and complaint made to the BBC on the 19th of May. Director General Tim Davie states that allegations of a different nature were put to the BBC only on Thursday the 6th of July, and this is what prompted the investigation. Perhaps this is true, and perhaps the initial complaint did not contain enough or indeed any detail to warrant an investigation. Or perhaps Davie is stating this to cover himself from the BBC. Only time will tell. Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves told the corporation to get its house in order. Ms. Reeves then went on to tell the BBC that if reports were true and the presenter had remained on air for weeks after the complaint was made, that was not good enough. The BBC need to speed up their process, she said, while calling for the BBC to give greater clarity now to what on earth has gone on in this case and what they're trying to do to put it right. Tory Minister Victoria Atkins called for swift action. With the initial complaints being made on May the 19th to the BBC, it looks as if they are dragging their heels in the beginning regarding this investigation. However, in the statement from the BBC, they claim that they were unaware of the seriousness of the allegations until further details were revealed to them last Friday. Although the police have been contacted, and even though the behaviour of the presenter is unacceptable, I'm not sure what laws, if any, have been broken, as the victim, as far as we know, was over the age of consent when this occurred. Although primarily between affluent older men and young, often vulnerable females, similar interactions to this occur all the time on unsavoury websites, like OnlyFans. These days, it has even become increasingly common for young female university students to fund their education in such a way. As unsavoury, tragic and sad that it is that young people have to resort to this, it's not illegal. Based on this, I'm not sure if the police will be in a position to take any action. However, the presenter is a person in the public eye and paid for by the public purse, and although it is possible that no laws have been broken, this sort of behaviour, in my opinion, makes his position untenable, and he needs to basically lose his job, I think. Remember, subscribe to this channel to keep up to date with this unfolding story.